Hey YouTube, hey Facebook, it's Felice HD. I am back again, and I'm picking up where we are at 8:06. I apologize for the technical difficulties. Make sure you drop down in the chat and let me know your predictions. Good, good. So we are just in time for the commercial break. Let's catch up. We started with Spencer visiting with the therapist. Hey, Lillian with one L. What's going on, lady? Well, okay, so far, Spencer has gone through with the he's gone through with the counseling. And we also see Coop being approached by the guidance counselor at Crenshaw. And the other problem here is we also see Darnell packing his bags. So there's going to be quite a bit of transition throughout this episode. We can anticipate that much so far. Um, the main thing that I wanted to touch on is some of the questions that the therapist has for Spencer. He's ripping the band-aid off. He's delving pretty deep very early on. He's asking him directly about his shooting. I know Darnell was packing, so I think he is gonna go ahead and check on his mom. Um, this therapist that Spencer is seeing is asking he's asking him some really tough questions. So we should see a decent amount of progress very early on. They haven't touched on how Darnell's mom is doing or what's going on with her at all. The only thing they were saying, Lillian with one L, is that the only thing that we even indication in terms of that situation was that we saw Darnell packing his bag. So I know after that run that him and Spencer gave that team, trying to work towards a victory for Crenshaw, I think we were not alone. I think we were all sad to see Darnell go. I'm hoping that everything will work out and he'll be able to return, um, because him and Spencer was time enough for the team. So we'll see. So yeah, this whole situation with Coop, we learned that Coop has been missing quite a bit of school and is pretty much headed towards possibly repeating a grade without some major changes coming into play. So yikes, we'll see. Okay, so we're back from commercial break and we're starting with Darnell. He's at Spencer's house. He has his bags packed and okay, so his mom is stable. He's getting ready to leave. She's stable, but they said it's gonna be a long road. Yeah, he's having a tough time. He's not leaving right now. He said he's leaving on Friday. So um yeah, David and Spencer, they were showing off last week. So fast forward to Beverly. There's a projector up of the game, and the coach is basically going through the reels. She's going through the reels with the team. Jordan appears to be very distracted by Simone. He's been texting Simone quite a bit. The coach was like, "Lady problems? You've been texting the whole time." Uh-oh. She's going hard on Jordan and Asher. No. She was trying to catch up with them. Oh, she just water boyed him. Okay. She was like, "Oh yeah, before you leave, tidy up the locker room and put the equipment away." Did she really just do Asher like that? So we fast forward to Spencer is talking to his mom. Wow. Mm. So Spencer is confiding with his mom about the status of the counseling. He was like, he's going, but he feels like he's kind of going through the motions. He doesn't really see the need for it. And his mom was like, listen, it's so many of us, our children, walking around desensitized with PTSD for real, and they're not getting the help because they, you think it's just normal. That's deep. He said he's going to stick it out. Long story short, Grace was able to low key encourage him to stick it out. So that's promising. Um, we're fast forward now to the cafe. We're sitting with we're sitting with Coop and Patience, and Layla walks up. So Patience was Patience wasn't able to prevent the song that she did with Coop from getting leaked. So they're trying to follow up with Layla. Layla says she's going to produce a video for them, but she's working to try and get patients out of the contract still. So they've got this hit, it's trending, and uh oh, uh oh. So we got to fast forward. We're at the cafe at Beverly. Hey, Olivia. Olivia's at the cafe picking something up, and Spencer walks up. Hey, they talk about rice and crumping, and hey, got the crumpet. He's like, no, I can't. He's complimenting her on her shoes. They goofing off. Yes. I love that movie Rise too. If you haven't seen that movie Rise, you gotta watch it. It's like that. So we learned that this summer changed some things. But they both miss each other as friends. So they give each other a hug. Um, they're just talking now. They're just kicking it. Oh wow. Olivia feels somewhat responsible. Oh, he said he'd take another bullet for that one. Hey. Yikes. Hey. Ah! There's something. Something happened. So we fast forward to the Baker home. Simone is at the door and she's apologizing. He didn't quite invite her in, but she just walked in. He was like, "Come on in." Jordan be shady. Oh wow. Jordan wants to know what's going on. She just asked them if they can take a drive. So they're going for a ride and they drive up to a home. She has pulled up to the house of the family where her baby was adopted. She's worried. She says she don't know whether her baby is happy or whether they're nice people. Like she's just like, that's my son and I know nothing. She has regrets. She says she doesn't think that she made the right decision. Jordan just asked her, "Is it too late?" And she said no. She said she legally has 3 more days to make up her mind. And we go to commercial break on that note. We're 19 minutes in, and we learn that Simone is considering coming back for her son. I didn't see this one coming, but when I saw the trailer last week, I was like, this might really happen. So we have about 40 minutes to find out if Simone is going to go through with this or not. And then maybe it'll stretch out into next week. But I think she looks pretty confident that she's not okay with this. In fact, she looks a lot more confident than she did turning him over in the hospital. I think she was a little concerned or confused, or I don't know. She seemed a little off at the hospital, but apparently she's been kind of trying to keep some distance between her and Jordan while she deals with her emotions about the adoption and what she's going to decide to do about her son. So let's get into this whole situation though. We gotta spin it back to Olivia and Spence because I need to know the tea. Like they didn't let any details slip in this conversation either. You just get the impression that they're trying to reconvene. They're trying to resume their initial, I guess, their initial relationship, or I don't know. It seems like there's a lot of unrest between the two of them, and they're trying their best to try to, mend fences a little bit. Both of them were able to share a little bit more about their emotions about the shooting. So we then learned that Olivia does somewhat feel she feels like she's at fault for what happened to Spencer. She was like, you took that bullet for me, and now, and he was just like, I would do it again. I'm like, wow, yikes. How does Layla feel about that? I don't know. It sounds a little interesting. It sounds like they did take things next level to some extent, because they're talking about getting back to being friends. They're like, yeah, I miss my friend. I miss, I want my friend back. That was the terminology. So we're gonna hear a lot more about this whole situation with Jordan and Simone, and then again with Olivia and Spencer. I'm sure of it. I want to touch on the whole situation of Billy's dad showing up at the house. He shows up and he's all like, with all of his great tidings. I'm wondering what's the deal with him. He is a doozy. I wonder. It's obvious he has something up his sleeve. I just wonder what it is. Um, he definitely always comes across like someone that has a hidden agenda. Billy's dad does. He always looks like he's up to something, and so that part of it has me a little bit intrigued. I'm interested to see. I think the therapist has pretty much confirmed that something is going on with Spencer. So I'll be interested to see what he's going to suggest. I feel like this whole situation with Coop and Layla and Patience and this new hit song that's trending right now that they haven't quite worked the kinks out of that contract situation. I feel like that's going to be the gift that keeps on giving. I feel like that's not over. I don't. I'm got my fingers crossed, but it sounds like something that's going to get a little sticky later on. We haven't heard anything from Preacher Mo this episode, so it'll be interesting to see where they are with things. So we're back from commercial break, and here comes Papa. I knew he was going to be back. He's at the school now in Billy's office. He's commenting on his name on the door. He's talking his trash. I'm so sorry. But Billy's father is so disrespectful. He is. The clause came out between the Baker men. So Pops is checking Billy about Jordan. He's like, it's something about his connection with this girl that is different. He can't function. He can't. Wow. We're fast forward into. We're gonna come back to Billy and. Mm. Mm. Layla is at the office and she's going toe to toe with a guy named Christian. Um, they're talking about the details of the contract, and she gets confirmation that her dad ripped Patience off for that song. So she's livid. Oh, wow. Asher and Olivia are having a conversation. Asher and Olivia are talking about last summer again, and he's trying to stamp it. So now he has the puzzled look on his face, like he thinks Olivia's hiding something now, and you can tell. So he's going to keep pressuring until she relents. We're back at the counseling with Spencer, and he's talking about Olivia. That's his day one. He loves her. Mm. Mm. What? He's in love with her. The counselor just said that. He said no. Mhm. He said, let's table this discussion for another time. Mm. He's trying to get to the bottom of who he brings. He asked him to write it down. He said to write down everything he can about that night. He's in love with Olivia, and the counselor just called him on it. Of course, Spencer tried to justify it. He was like, now, my girl, I love her. He said, you're very clear about that. He's trying to figure out where Spencer is stuck at. So he's clearly not stuck on his feelings about Miss Olivia. So we fast forward to the home. Jordan has pulled up to the house of the family. Jordan gets out and he's trying to talk to him about it. So Jordan is talking to the guy. She might, he's Jordan is letting him. He just kicked Jordan out. He told him get off his block and don't come back again. He was trying to talk to him about the whole situation. He was like, look, that's my girlfriend. She's 18. She's, you know, grappling with it basically. Dude, he was like, does she have a second thoughts? His whole demeanor changed. Um, ooh, this is gonna be messy. This is gonna be messy. So let's fast forward while we on commercial break, okay? We got it. Well, I can't say fast forward yet. We got to run it back to the Baker men in that conversation. So Papa Baker came to check on Billy and he wanted to let his feelings be known about the fact that Jordan was supposed to connect with him, meet up with him, and he didn't show up. He stood him up and he was like, I know it has something to do with this young lady, and this is not, the first, I'm sure, but he really has his nose open and he really can't afford to right now. He has to stay focused. And I need you to make sure that he stays focused. And Billy was like, he's got this. He was like, look, I'm just concerned, and he was like, look, he knows better than to let himself lose focus like any of this. So he was like, he started talking sideways to Billy. He was like, look, somebody needs to be concerned about Jordan because clearly you're not. You're here. You're following behind Spencer. You're going to go to college with Spencer too. Like, he really was getting real sideways with Billy. And Billy was like, why don't we figure out why you put my mom in a nursing home the minute she got sick? Like, you didn't even try to take care of her. Like, the claws came out. They got really nasty. But nothing about any of this situation prepared me for Layla really is a boss. And I think she's getting ready to bump heads with her dad. So there's like a usurp of power. Like, the main characters are going toe to toe with their parents right now. Like, Layla was she was able to get some clarity on what actually happened. So Patience signed an NDA, which is a non-disclosure agreement, and basically the company that the record company, the music company, they used her song for another artist, and because Patience was non-disclosed, she wasn't supposed to talk about it. So it was true. Oh, we're back from commercial break at Spencer's house, and Dylan is in there. He is in there drawing his butt off, and Spencer sees his drawings, and so he finds out that Dylan and Darnell were working on a comic book together, and he's always had love for comics since. Oh, oh. So the comic book is The King of Crenshaw, which is actually made for Corey, their dad. So it's really nice. He was like, Dylan asked Spencer not to tell Darnell that he was saddened by him leaving. So this is a lot. Uh oh. So he's on the field. He's on the field. He was talking to Cam, and Cam and Spence still got that tension between them. But as soon as Spence show up, Cam gets in the win. He told him he gonna miss him. He said him and Dylan and his mom is gonna miss him. He said being in the military, they moved around so much that he has to be able to like not really get comfortable anywhere. He thought he had finally found a home for a while, and he's like, I really should have known better. So he's kind of beating himself up right now. It's kind of sad, but Spencer's, encouraging him. He's like, home is what you make it. So fast forward to Beverly locker room. Asher's in there working out, and he's like, she's like, what's up? The coach comes in, is like, what's up? And Asher's like, I'm just trying to stay in shape for when my number's called. So Vanessa's been jockeying with her mom to try to give a better impression of Asher, we find out, right? She's like, all I see is a kid that gave away the team's playbook to a rival and took steroids. And all you can talk about is getting back on the field. She was like, you can't get more selfish than that. That coach be reading. Lord. Fast forward to the cafe. Layla and Olivia they're talking to Coop and Patience, and they're looking at visuals. Wow. Coop can give a pep talk because Layla was utterly defeated by the whole situation with her dad. Coop is trying to encourage Layla to continue the fight. So they were saying they're going to do the music video, but it has to only be Coop. It can't be Patience because they won't release her. So this is not looking good. Fast forward to outside the cafe, Simone is confronting Jordan about going to see the adopted parents, talking to the adopted dad, and she's talking to him more in depth about her emotions about the adoption, and she has regrets. And he's asking her, like, what are you saying? She's going to get her son. She just told Jordan she's going to get her son. Yeah. You know, this whole situation with Layla and Coop and Patience with her bringing Olivia in on it and them really having their talk about how much they have had to fight so far to even get to the point that they are, and they're like, yeah, we keep winning, we're going to keep winning. I mean, it was very empowering, it was very encouraging. um I thought that that scene was very especially powerful because um so far throughout this situation, Layla's been pretty confident. She's really been pushing. Um, okay, Lydia with the with one L. Listen, let me tell you something. We gonna come back to Coop and Layla. The TV pregnancies. It was like she was pregnant overnight, and the next minute here come the baby. Like it really was elapsed time because it went by really fast. And I wouldn't be surprised, like, if by the next time we see her saying he probably be walking. Like that's just how it is on TV. So yeah, so um what doesn't make sense to me is how the pappy is running around here antagonizing Jordan, and he got time to do all of the stupid stuff that he be doing, but he can't go see about Simone. I think that's real raggedy. And I'm pretty sure if she get that baby back, they gonna have to have a reckoning because he's just he's just totally disrespectful. So getting back to the situation with Coop and Layla and Patience and Olivia sitting down, I think they're going to come up with a video concept that's going to rock, and they're just going to keep it pushing. They're not going to let any of it, because Layla was saying that she, really had to make a decision between family and business, and she wasn't really willing to go all business minded, like her dad or like some of the other execs were willing to do. She was just like, family is important to me, and I just can't be that person. Like, if I gotta cross my father to try to get this resolved, then she just didn't seem like she was gonna feel good about it. So, um, I think I think they'll get through it. I think they'll find a crafty way to circumvent this obstacle. Perhaps, it will be an eye opener for her dad that, Layla is not cutthroat. She doesn't want to take that approach to business. And that's one of the things that Ku pointed out. It's like, that's one of the reasons why I came to your organization or decided to work with you, because you're not like all of these other people. So hopefully being in the business doesn't change her. It doesn't change who she is or how she takes her approach to the music business, because you could tell right now she's a little she's a little confused and kind of like caught in between a tough spot right now. We're back from commercial break, and at the table it's DA Baker, Jordan, Papa Baker, Billy, and Olivia. Jordan is telling them he's gonna miss the team photos. And the papa is like, how can you miss the team photos? He was saying he wanted to practice with him after the team photos, and he was like, how are you gonna miss the team photos? And Jordan is like, I gotta do something with Simone that's really important. DA Baker is saying, I'm glad that you're stepping up for Simone, but you know, Maybe your grandfather's right. Billy is saying that, he trusts that while he's helping, his friends, that he doesn't lose sight of his priorities. DA Baker's like, talk to us, help me understand. Mm. Billy was like, look, it's fine. If you don't want to talk to us, just talk to somebody that has your best interest at heart. And he looks over at his grandfather. I mean, he looks over at his dad like don't talk to him anymore. Oh, so we're at Spencer's home, and they are throwing a surprise going away for Darnell. It's Coop, it's Grace, it's Cam, Spencer, and I don't see Dylan, but oh, there's Billy. He missed the surprise. He was saying that he was very, very close with his mother, and so he knows what he's going through. And he said that, him going to check on her is the only way to go, and he's proud of him. And, basically, oh. So Darnell was making note of the fact that Cam and Spencer are in the same room and they not going at each other. So Darnell is sitting there talking to Dylan. Mm. He's having a hard time writing about the night of the shooting. So he said, speaking of surprises, he brought one for him and it's out on the porch. So he's going outside. Let's see what's outside. Jordan. Jordan was like, about our beef. He was like, Spencer was like, yeah, we cool. We family. Mm. So Spencer's talking to Jordan and he was like, did she ask you to come with her? Okay, so they're at Spencer's. Hey, TL1 TV and Entertainment. So right now, Darnell is opening his going away gift. It's a picture of him with Corey. Spencer said Crenshaw is always gonna be your home. So when it's when she recovers and it's time to come back, we gonna be here for you. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they like, oh, group hug. It's awesome. So Spencer Jordan, hugged it out, and he actually was able to talk about the situation with Simone. He was like, listen, I she's going back over there to take her son back. And, this is a life changing decision. Like, I'm with her, this and that. And he was like, but it's the same time as the team photo. And I'm just starting to get the trust of the coach and yada yada yada. And Spence was like, did she ask you to come? Like, you at some point, he was like, if this is your girl, at some point you gotta trust that she can handle what she need to handle. Like, if she asks you to be, I get it. I get what he's saying. Like, she didn't even ask you to come. Like, he's sitting there about to miss, what he need to do, because he keeps trying to, I think that he does feel very protective of Simone. Um, and that's very obvious, but you know, I think he was able to get some clarity, and it meant a lot to him to be able to like bury the hatchet a little bit. So yes, I agree. They are brothers, and that's what Spence told him tonight. Like, we family, family fight sometime, you know what I mean? But we hug it out. So they done sent Darnell off with a strong send off. So that was amazing. I'm gonna cut out at about time. I'm gonna wait and stick around for a few more minutes just to see if they show anything else. And then if you guys can come back, I'm gonna open the thread for I'm gonna open the post for Black Lightning. If not, I will see you guys next week. Next Monday at 8. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate you all. Oh, no, wait. We're coming back from commercial break, and Spencer is looking at Dylan's cartoon of King Crenshaw, and he's just staring at it. He was having a tough time writing his homework that the therapist gave him. He's trying to figure out who he blames for his shooting. So it's going back and forth between Spencer writing his homework, and they are setting up for the concert. Layla Coop and yikes. So a lady walks in the office, and Hans Christian had all that mouth. So papers and said, was Patience a minor when we signed her? Because the company is getting sued. Guess by who? His own daughter. Layla ain't playing. So we fast forward to the locker room at Beverly. Asher is fessing up to the coach about where he stands right now. Oh, wow. The coach said Asher is valuable to the team, and she's always known that, but she needed him to see it. So Jordan is sitting by the phone. He's prepping for the game photo. I mean, for the team photo, but he's trying to reach out to Simone. He's leaving her a voicemail, and he's telling her that he loves her, and he believes that she's strong enough to handle it on her own. But if she needs him, he's just a phone call away. Bossed up. Jordan is bossing up. Simone ain't playing. She done came and knocked on the door. So the father came out and she's introducing herself. Oh, she sees the baby and she is freaking out. Oh, the mama is like, come sit down. She was going to leave. She said that he's happy and, oh, he said, why don't you come by and check on her from time to time? Oh, they inviting her to be in his life. Oh, you could just see it on her face. She wanna hold him. She gonna let the adoptive mother is gonna let her hold him. Oh, she is so excited. Oh, they just invited her in and they let her hold the baby. Oh, oh, that is so oh, that's about to make my eyes sweat. Woo! The book he blames Coop for getting shot. Coop is the stuck point because he said all of the different times he tried to tell Coop to stay out the game and yada yada yada, and she wouldn't listen. That's what led to him being shot. Mm-mm. Off to Black Lightning, y'all. See y'all next week or tune in to the Black Lightning thread. Peace and blessings till next time.